Star Cable Communications Channel 5 presents Gloucester County Salutes Our Heroes. Hello everybody, Bob Shryack along with Jim McGinnis in South Woodbury on a glorious Sunday afternoon. Jim McGinnis for probably the biggest parade in the history of Gloucester County, a parade that is honoring the servicemen and women of Gloucester County who served us in the Persian Gulf. And Jim could not have ordered a better day for this event.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous for anything one might want to do outdoors today, Bob. And what a fitting day it is for the men and women who have really gambled their lives in Saudi Arabia for such a noble cause. We have in Gloucester County today over 230 units who will be participating in the parade, involving better than 2,500 people. We anticipate upwards of 25,000 people to be viewing this tremendous parade today.
Today's parade is sponsored by Ace Ford of Woodbury, satisfying customers for 78 years, and by Heritage's Dairy Stores, bringing your family the very best. Jim McGinnis, 23 of the 24 municipalities in Gloucester County participating in this event today, and of course a county contingent will lead the parade. There are 15 bands in the parade, including 12 Gloucester County high school bands. And you know, Jim, this was all coordinated by the Greater Woodbury JCs, who have become really the parade experts in South Jersey.
Well, a lot of credit, I think, has to go to John Mayer, the director of the Board of Chosen Freeholders in Gloucester County, who initially set the organizational meeting up on March the 12th. And in less than 26 days, this parade has been put together. John wisely recognized the expertise of the Woodbury JCs and asked the JCs to conduct the parade. Kevin Smith and Debbie Duffield have really coordinated this parade along with the rest of the JC organization, and a fine job they've done.
Mike Linder will be working with us today. Mike, my longtime colleague on Channel 5, will be doing a lot of interviews down in front of us, reviewing stand with a lot of Gloucester County dignitaries. We are just about ready to get the first part of the parade with us. As you can see up Broad Street in Woodbury, that is the Marine Corps League official county color guard for this parade. And I tell you, Jim McGinnis, if you have any ounce of patriotism in your body, you're going to love today's parade.
Bob, were you ever in the military?
No, I wasn't, Jim, but I have a healthy respect for all who were, and you know, a lot of people that I know in Gloucester County served us in the Gulf. I had young Richard Platt from Winona on my TV show a couple of weeks ago. He was in the Special Services in the Army, and he had to go back to his Fort Campbell today, so unable to be with us. So we're just about ready to see the start of the parade, and I tell you what, the cooperation level from all the Gloucester County municipalities, 23 of the 24 for this parade, absolutely magnificent. That is the Woodbury Police Chief's Guard, Craig Hobbinger, who's just done a great job, great civic-minded guy, Jim McGinnis, and that's Craig driving the police car to get the parade started today.
Looks like a brand new vehicle they're driving also.
Join with me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That was Kevin Smith, the president of the Greater Woodbury JCs, leading the Pledge of Allegiance.
Kevin will be handling the public address system this afternoon and into the early hours of the evening.
And that is the official county color guard, the Marine Corps League organizing that color guard. And many of the county dignitaries and local officials following on behind. John Mayer, the Freeholder Director, Senator Ray Zane,
The Assemblyman Bryant,
Freeholders Maggie Smith, her husband,
Surrogate Wagner,
Richard Hickey, great contingent, Joe Manganello, Freeholder,
Jim Atkinson along with him.
Freeholders McDevitt and Mangini. So the county officials out in force. Gary Stuhlfeger was just down the street there. This is the Great American Trolley. Well, we have a lot of units in this parade, Jim. You mentioned 230. By comparison, the Fall Parade, which is a huge parade, has just under 100. So this is more than twice as large as the Great Fall Parades that we've been televising here on Channel 5.
I think one of the unsung heroes in this whole parade will be the municipal administrators, the city clerks, who have coordinated the entire participation by their individual towns.
One of the great guys in Gloucester County is the county clerk, Joseph J. Hoffman, one of they're real fine people. Remember the Gloucester County Hall of Fame, great baseball player in his day.
And now, Bob, we have
Sheriff Jim Hogan. There he is.
Preceded by the Color Corps from the Sheriff's Department and followed by the Mounted Unit. Jim's another popular guy in the county. Good guy.
And a real patriotic guy, too, carrying an American flag. I tell you, everybody with big smiles today. Such a gorgeous day for an event like this, too. Mounted Unit from the Sheriff's Department following down the street. Sheriff's Department vehicles behind the Sheriff. Everybody wants to be part of this, Jim.
By the looks of the lineup, Bob, everybody is a part of it.
Of course, the county contingent is leading the parade, Jim. Then Woodbury, because it is the host city, will follow, and then the towns will go in alphabetical order. So if you're from Woodbury Heights and you want to see them on the parade, you're going to have to stick around for a couple hours, Jim, because it is anticipated that this parade could last as long as 4 hours.
Woodbury has one of the largest contingents in the parade with over 21 units participating. National Park, by the way, Bob, has 23 units and over 300 people in the parade. Just a magnificent effort from National Park.
Well, they're a very patriotic community, Jim, always have been, and not surprised at all that National Park would want to participate at the level they are. All right, Mike Lindner has an interview for us. Mike?
That's the way the people feel on a gorgeous, it really looks like a summer's afternoon, but it is a beautiful day. Certainly hope you come all afternoon.
Okay, some technical problems with that interview with Mike Lindner. We'll get back to Mike down on the street a little bit later. And some of the great service personnel riding up on top of the Patterson flatbed. County Emergency Management vehicle down the street. Tricia Noakes carrying a flag in memory of her father, Harry Hoover Lethbridge, who served in the Marines during World War II. Yeah, everybody's out carrying a flag today. The county employees. The Gloucester County Prosecutor's Office Mobile Crime Lab coming down the street. And Jim, the next vehicle coming down the street, the Joel Magaziner car, this is welcoming home the veterans from the Gulf. And of course, this is an artist rendering, Jim, of the new Veterans Monument that is going to be constructed up at the new courthouse complex on Hunter Street in Woodbury. And a great fundraising effort being chaired by Joel Magaziner and Bonita Bachman Granite,
who are both riding in the vehicle. And now, Bob, here comes a vehicle that you're very closely associated with.
The WVSJ van riding down the street. Gus Colley, the owner of the station. And now the Gus Colley. Little Miss Gloucester County unit is next with Paula Dombrowski from Swedesboro. Here comes Paula. Nice day to ride atop a convertible.
Gloucester County Department of Aging. Here is the Rudolph Group.
It's the next coming up, Bob, is the Gloucester County Department of Aging with their banner.
Great organization. Of course, Margaret Pig Mendoza, the director, has been for 20 years now. Does a wonderful job for Gloucester County and all the senior citizens groups in the county. Glorious day for a parade.
See, many of the dignitaries have been to the end of the parade and have walked back and will be taking their seats in the reviewing stands.
There's Peg Mendoza right out in front. Great lady, Peg Mendoza, Jim. And one of the vehicles that they use for senior citizen transportation in Gloucester County, following along behind the members from the Department of Aging. There's the vehicle. A great transportation service.
It wasn't that many years ago, Bob, that my father was suffering from Alzheimer's, and I had occasion to call Peg Mendoza, and she was fantastic. She gave me all the advice I needed and was very helpful. And now coming up, Bob, a rather late entrant into the parade, the American Red Cross with the Gloucester County chapter.
American Red Cross does a great job in this county. Of course, Jane Moffat is the executive director, riding in the Red Cross vehicle.
Jane Moffat has submitted her resignation, Bob, and will be leaving us in June.
And this is the band, the US-1, riding along the flatbed, a popular country and western band in the area.
On behalf of the county and the US Parade, I'd like to dedicate this to the Transformers Control Parade. I don't love the Hurricanes, you're not there. For the Tonga, and my brother Billy. Here you go, Tom 1. We're going to have their parade. This one's for you.
One of just 15 bands in the parade today. And of course is the Communications Center Fire and Ambulance Vehicle, Gloucester County. Gloucester County Times mascot, Salem Sunbeam, of course, published by the same company. Gloucester County Library Vehicle. County out in full force today. And the Gloucester County Times representation coming down the street. Walt Holt, the publisher of the Gloucester County Times, and the Salem Sunbeam, riding in that vehicle. And some Gloucester County Times personnel on it. Of course, we're right across the street from the Gloucester County Times. My employer for many, many years. Gloucester County Vocational Technical School float is next. What a great service they provide for Gloucester County, Tim.
Bob, don't they have an open house coming up shortly?
Thursday night, their annual open house. They expect about 5,000 people there. Wonderful facility here in Gloucester County.
I was pleased to have served as their first treasurer when we kept all the accounts out of a checkbook. That was when they were considerably smaller and not as sophisticated.
Greenwood School float. Look at this, Jim. Look at all the kids on this float. It's amazing. That's the Votech float, but behind them is a flatbed Zeisloff Trucking
from Greenwood Cooperative Nursing School.
Boy, there must be more than 50 kids plus parents on that float, Jim.
I think this is kind of typical of the interest that was generated by the war in the Gulf.
Okay, Mike Lindner has State Senator Raymond Zane with him now. Mike?
Mike Lindner.
We're sorry, we still have some technical problems we're going to have to work on, so Mike will be back with another interview later.
We were just looking at the Gloucester County Young Woman of the Year, Rachel Fay, riding in the white convertible.
Mira Sheff of West Deptford, first runner-up. Kathleen B. Mueller of Gateway Regional, the second runner-up. And we have a second radio station in the parade today, Q102.
We're about ready to start with the first of the towns, with Woodbury, the host community, Bob.
Jim, we have about a minute and 45-second tape from President Bush relative to the parade today, and I believe Kevin Smith, the president of the JCs, is getting that queued up right now for us to listen to.
In the weeks and months between now and the 4th of July, thousands of cities and towns across America are going to be a scene of celebration, each one different, and yet every one the same. Today it's your turn. All the waiting, all the wishing is over. This is the day the heroes come home. I wish it were possible for me to be there with you, to share with you this special day. I ask you to accept this message of thanks. Today is a day of reunion, a day when the men and women who went so far away from home come back, take their seat at the table. It's a day of joy and celebration. But sometime today, sometime between the parades and the picnics, between all the speeches and the ceremonies, I ask you to stop for a moment. Think about the men and women of Desert Storm, how they served this nation and the cause of peace, and think about how each one of us can harness that same spirit of public service in all we do. I know that for all of you, this is a day you will never forget. But we haven't always welcomed our veterans back with open arms. So today, as you honor the men and women of Desert Storm, remember every veteran who sacrificed and served this nation. Let today be a homecoming for them too. To all the families who've counted the hours and days, to all the friends and neighbors who sent the packages and said the prayers, let me say, you sustained us. And to all the veterans of Desert Storm, let me simply say, welcome home. My warmest wishes to you all, and may God bless this great nation, the United States of America.
You have to work harder than the competition to be the very best. You begin with a commitment to excellence. It takes determination and discipline. You develop consistency, and that breeds confidence. And always give your very best. That's our goal at Ace Ford. With 78 years of making satisfied customers, Ace Ford sets the standard here in Gloucester County and nationwide. Like a championship team, our salespeople and service staff all pull together to make your car purchase a pleasurable experience. We at Ace Ford also salute our troops returning from the Persian Gulf.
Bob Shryock and Jim McGinnis back on South Broad Street in Woodbury. It is the biggest parade in the history of Gloucester County, and a gorgeous day for it. This is the Gloucester County Salutes Our Heroes Parade. And all but one Gloucester County municipality participating in the event today, and John Mayer and many of the dignitaries from Gloucester County now down on the reviewing platform as now the towns begin to move through. And Jim McGinnis, you know a lot about this first contingent from Woodbury.
Well, the first group is the Woodbury Municipal Alliance. It is the alliances in the various towns have been formed to fight drug and alcohol abuse, and there's been a lot of money raised and a lot of money to be spent, and it's to be spent on largely education, educating the youngsters and really not so young people about the horrors of drug and alcohol abuse, and we have to think that the program is working even at such an early stage, Bob. There were many of the dignitaries from the city of Woodbury marching behind the banner. There was the mayor and many of the council and many of the other representatives.
Dick Skinner, the mayor of Woodbury, one of the real good guys in this county, very active in many organizations, and very proud that his community is the host community for today's parade. And walking proudly Down the street now, getting a tremendous round of applause, the 82nd Airborne Color Guard. Don't have to say much, Jim.
No.
All you have to do is listen.
I was thinking the same thing. Bob, I think you alluded to the fact earlier, unless you had ice water running through your veins, you could not have helped but to have been moved by that display of emotion, that display of appreciation for the Army.
Woodbury leading the parade among the 24 municipalities participating, and after Woodbury, we will then go into alphabetical order. Woodbury has 20 different units in the parade, including the Bonzo Blues Band that we'll be seeing in a little while.
In terms of units, Woodbury itself is second only to National Park in terms of units.
American Legion Color Guard. Jim, there's a huge crowd uptown. We can see up Broad Street in Woodbury. Difficult to compare crowd sizes. I had Craig Hobbinger on my radio show the other day. We were talking about crowds, and he said he felt that at the Fall Festival Parade last year that they had about 12,000 people in Woodbury, anticipating a lot more than that today. And, of course, the weather cooperating tremendously.
I drove south on Broad Street, Bob, on my way here, and I came here about an hour or so before the parade began, and the street was beginning to fill up already.
Big gap now, Jim, our first gap in the parade as we get some of the people who getting nice suntans today. The temperature in the mid-80s, nicest day of 1991. Somebody planned this very, very well. Could not be a nicer day for a parade.
Just ironically, I spent the last 2 days up at Fort Dix for a soccer tournament, and I've had a lot of exposure to the military here, and it just really gives you a great feeling, particularly after what happened subsequent to the Vietnam War.
Okay, we'll be right back after this.
Something about Heritage's dairy stores has endured since Skeet Heritage bought his first cow in 1930. That something is commitment. For our customers, Heritage's means a commitment to excellent service, quality products, and competitive prices. For our employees, we remain committed to honesty, fairness, and support. You can read it in our company mission statement, and you can see it every day at a Heritage's near you. Heritage's, bringing your family the very best since 1930.
Jim McGinnis and Bob Shryock back on South Broad Street in Woodbury. This is the American Legion float, appreciated by the crowd. American Legion Post 133 in Woodbury, and
although I do not know him, that would appear to be Major Roger Davis from the that was following the float.
next coming up the street, Jim, unmistakable sound, unmistakable look of the Bonzo Blues Marching Band. An organization which has a dance band, a concert band, and one of the best marching bands you'll ever see. And I tell you what, they're ready for this. Jim, last night they had their annual show concert at Gateway Regional High School. Had the honor of being the Toastmaster for that event. They were sounding great last night, and I tell you what, there would be no parade in Woodbury without the Bonzo Blues, and what a more appropriate event than a parade that salutes our men and women who served in the Persian Gulf. The Bonzo Blues. right behind the Bonsall Blues band. This is Major Robert L. Davis, Special Forces, U.S. Army.
Very nice one. And a Lincoln convertible, one of the old four-door vehicles driven by Bill Sutton. And now going by our reviewing stand, Bob, is the Gloucester County Chapter number 64, the Disabled American Veterans on a Flatbed. God love them and bless them. And thank them.
And the National Guard. What a show. Jim, the music is now being provided by a group of young people from Pittman called the Appreciation Choir. Jim Cheadle has written the song In a Desert Sand, sung by Jim and the Band Choir. That is the background music for this great show from the National Guard.
But it's quite a display. The transportation equipment that the Guard brought with them today. I live right next door to the Armory on Evergreen Avenue, and I don't remember seeing any of this equipment.
That's amazing, Jim, I tell you. All of this part of the Woodbury contingent in the parade. A lot more to go. We have 22 towns after Woodbury, Jim.
I think we're going to be here for a while, Robert.
That is the Appreciation Choir for Pittman you're hearing in the background. POW-MIA Fluid and Honor Guard coming down the street. And of course they represent all wars. Look at that total, Jim.
It's
Gloucester
staggering,
County
isn't it?
Participants, 88,501. World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and the Persian Gulf. What a demonstration, Jim.
The crowd assembled this afternoon, Bob, has not stopped clapping since the first military unit went by.
Walnut Street School next, Jim, welcoming America's heroes with about 40 of them participating, carrying placards. Each one has the name of a serviceman or woman serving in the Persian Gulf.
We are children of Woodbury, the future of our country. This is the salute our troops, carrying the names of all those from Woodbury who served in the Persian Gulf.
Woodbury youngsters getting involved today. Everybody wants to be involved. This is part of the Woodbury contingent, one of 23 of Gloucester County's 24 towns taking part in the parade today. And boy, they're way back up Broad Street, Jim. A lot more of them coming.
The youngsters that you see now are coming from the West End School, and they also are carrying the names of the people who have participated in Desert Storm. Bob, I really hope this goes along, that a display of this sort goes a long way to rectifying the wrong that we heaped on our military people from the Vietnam War. I don't know if we'll ever correct it entirely, but this ought to let the participants know that we are, as a nation, sorry.
The name of a different service man or woman who served in the Gulf on those placards carried by Woodbury youngsters, elementary school students.
There's that letter you told me you heard written by Mr. James Cheadle. It's available. You can purchase that tune. Just come on up here. And we're just going to let you know that it is available.
Jim, I hope you didn't have dinner planned early tonight because we're going to be here for a while.
I was just thinking our preparing dinner for us.
Maybe Mondelli and his real sense of hoagie's up to us in a couple hours.
Well, you did say what a nice guy he was
Oh,
earlier.
yeah. Today's parade is sponsored by Ace Ford of Woodbury, satisfying customers for 78 years, and by Heritage's Dairy Stores, bringing your family the very best.
Sponsored by two of the very fine families of Gloucester County.
Well, we got another band coming up the street, Jim. The proud Woodbury High School Marching Band is coming into our view, and of course they've had a lot to be proud of. That Woodbury High School football team the last 4 years with Colonial Conference championships, the last 3 years with NJSIAA Group 1 championships.
And their basketball team was no slouch
right.
this year either, nor
won
their
the Colonial
wrestling
as well.
team. They had an excellent wrestling team as well.
You know, this band has grown, Jim. 2 or 3 years ago, the Woodbury High School band had a limited number of marching personnel, but they have grown tremendously in terms of personnel in the band, and they become really one of the fine marching high school bands in all of South Jersey. The Woodbury High School Marching Band.
They're a well-dressed outfit as well. Their uniforms are really smart looking.
Woodbury High School Marching Band. Behind the band, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts in the parade today.
And they're volunteer adult leaders. Thank God for these adult leaders. Without them, the movements would never last. These volunteers put in an awful lot of time and really go many times unrewarded or unappreciated, but they are good.
Coming in the view of the Woodbury Police Explorers.
Woodbury Police Explorers will be the next group behind the scouting groups.
And indeed a branch of scouting, just an older branch. That's the Explorer movement is designed more towards careers.
Police Explorers. Woodbury with 20 different units in this parade, coming out in full force. Little gap in the parade now, Jim. The Woodbury High School Choir will be next down. Your old councilman buddy Jack Scott hollering up to us as we watch the Explorers walk down the street.
I just looked across the street and noticed a couple of people from the office I work with.
Here to ask you?
Absolutely. Taking photographs of proof I actually do work once in a while.
Coming in the view is the Woodbury High School Traveling Choir.
This is-
Who singing supported by troops.
And Mike Linder has Gene Costel, the former mayor of Clayton, with him now. Mike?
Thanks a lot, Bob. With me now, Gene Costel from Clayton, and of course, a well-known county figure. And Gene, this has to be a big day for you that evokes a lot of memories. Maybe some people not understanding that this December it'll be 50 years since they really dark day, certainly for our country and certainly for your family.
No, it sure does bring back memories. Mike, like you said, 50 years ago this December, I lost a brother that was 2 years older than me. He was only 18 years old. Happened to be on the West Virginia at the time the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. We never recovered anything, never really knew what happened to him, but we lost him at that time.
Harold Costello, of course, your 18-year-old brother at the time, and the VFW posting Clayton named for him. A lot of people go by there, don't understand the kind of sacrifices families go through, but to see the people come out from this country and from this county and honor the people for Desert Storm, it actually is honor for all, is it not?
Oh, this has been tremendous. To see the support that the people in our county and all over everywhere have given to this operation in Desert Storm just lets people know that they haven't forgotten. And this wasn't just for Desert Storm, I'm sure. It's for anybody who has spent time in the defense of our freedom.
You, of course, played such a large part in the county politics, actually the political life more than the politics, where you've given to the county. It has to do your heart good, I imagine, to see so many people from this county turn out today and participate in this honor.
Well, I've long been proud of Clayton and Gloucester County, and this makes it just that much more, right? It's tremendous.
Gene Costello from Clayton and Gloucester County. Bob?
Thank you, Mike Linder, very much. Mike, my longtime colleague on Channel 5, 13 years we worked high school sports together, high school and college, and wrapping up the near the end of the Woodbury contingent now here in the parade, the New Jersey Bell Telephone Pioneers. Okay, we'll be right back with the Victory Parade after this.
It's feeding time for the beast in the backyard again. You know what that old air conditioner is going to do to your utility bill. But you don't have to let that monster upset your budget.
Let the air conditioning specialist at WB Stewart & Son replace your backyard monster with high-efficiency 10-star air conditioning. We offer the 10-star Help Program, an extended 5-year warranty on parts and labor. Call the specialist at WB Stewart & Son.
Jim McGinnis and Bob Shryock in Woodbury for the Gloucester County Salutes Our Heroes Parade. And we are now into the alphabetical presentation of the counties. Clayton is first. The Clayton ambulance just went down the street, Jim. And I think one of the remarkable things that I found about this event today is the cooperation level they've gotten from all the communities, Jim. Everybody wants to take part. And I know it was a massive undertaking for the JCs to put this together, but they did have a lot of great cooperation from the towns.
Well, a lot of things really fell in together. It was only a couple of nights after the first organization meeting that Joe Hoffman had the good fortune to be addressing the administrators and all of the towns at a meeting, and it was Joe Hoffman who asked all of them to participate and coordinate the activities in their town, which they did.
And, of course, the Clayton mayor is on the right of the screen. That is Dan Farrell, Charles A. Dan Farrell on the right. Big man. He loves this event today. Teaches in Clayton High School. Lived in Clayton about all of his life. Brownies Troop 1 from Clayton following along behind. Elk Lodge 2132. And there's another big gap up the street to the next entry in the parade, Jim.
This is probably the longest gap we've experienced so far, Bob, but it won't take too long to fill it up.
Jim, I know you've been to some of the meetings. The JCs, my understanding is they put in an extraordinary number of hours in a tight time frame to put this parade together.
Well, as we had talked about earlier, from the first meeting to today is slightly under 26 full days. The organizational meeting took place on March 12th in the old county courthouse building that has been renovated, and if you haven't seen it, I would suggest to people that they go and take a look. It's money well spent. But nonetheless, from that point forward, the JCs were asked to run this, and the way they did it, they established what they called a committee of liaisons, which had 8 JCs. Each JC was responsible to coordinate activities for 3 municipalities, and
Okay, Mike Lindner has John Mayer, the freeholder director.
Joining me now, John Mayer, freeholder director, Gloucester County. John, this is a day for all Gloucester Countyans. Is it a day that you got to be proud, happy, enthused? A long walk, maybe in a parade, but I bet you didn't feel stepped, did you?
Not a bit, Mike. You know, this is the greatest day in the 305-year history of Gloucester County. All 24 communities, all of our citizens, no paid consultants, no money had to be paid to any group to march. This was truly a people parade, and people came from out throughout the county. We have over, 2,500 marches in the parade. The weather's spectacular, the day's spectacular, and it's taken us a long time, but America again has a resolve and a sense of direction, and everyone is supportive of our troops and of America's dedication to freedom and democracy throughout this world. And that's what today's about, and I'm excited, and I didn't feel a step in that walk.
All right, now how long did this parade take to put together? It must have been a lot of coordination, but was it one of the easiest ones you've been involved with?
When I start thanking people, I'm going to miss some of the right ones, but the city of Woodbury, who agreed to be a host of such a spectacular parade and a logistic nightmare, the Woodbury JCs and the JCs throughout the county, the mayors of the communities, the municipal clerks who helped put together each town's contingent. Everyone worked together, and we did it in less than a month. In less than 30 days, to put together this kind of spectacular is truly phenomenal. But you know why? Because people wanted to do it. Everyone wanted to get involved. Everyone wanted to help. And there was no reluctance. Nothing could be asked of any group, any organization, any official where they said, it's too much bother. People said, tell us what you need, and we'd get it done. And it's been done. And here we are today.
John, this has to have memories for you, too, of military background and friends, family that have served. And do you feel that this is for all or just for those in Desert Storm?
This is for all. This is for all veterans, all military personnel, all people who serve this great country in all capacities. You know, it was interesting last night on Channel 5, there was a documentary about Jimmy Stewart talking about the people who provide the supplies and the logistics and the makeup, not only the pilots. This is a parade for all people, and we're proud of everyone who played any role whatsoever in making the parade possible and also defending this great country.
And also, of course, any other wars or any other...
Any wars, any veterans, all down the line. They were all invited to participate today, and this is a homecoming. This is a homecoming for the Vietnam veterans, for the Persian Gulf veterans, and for Korea, World War II, World War... We're all here together today.
All right, John Mayer, thanks a lot. Go
excited.
back and enjoy the parade.
Thanks, Mike.
Bob?
Thank you, Mike. Incidentally, Mike, with some good timing, had Gene Costle, the former mayor of Clayton, on when Clayton came down the street. Now he has the former mayor of Deptford, John Mayer, who is now the freeholder director. And Jim McGinnis, going down the street, was David Christian. Used to live in Gloucester County, a Washington Township resident at one time. Now lives in Bucks County, the most decorated Vietnam veteran in the United States. And Deptford Councilman Kenny Gortz got David Christian to come back for this parade today. They went down the street behind Mike Lindner and John Mayer when they were talking. This is the Deptford High School marching band coming down the street. Of course, we had Mayor Beat Cherkis and all the councilmen and women of Deptford Township during that interview by Mike Lindner. But this is the Deptford High Spartan Marching Band. Don't think I've ever seen a parade in Gloucester County when there were so many high school bands represented. My understanding is there's only one or two not here today.
And they're really producing good sounds. I like that Deptford band. Under the